Hi everyone. Let's say you decided to bring a puppy home. When is the right time to do it? What age should your puppy be when you bring them home? Let's talk about this in this video. So, the best time to bring your puppy home is between 6 and 8 weeks of their age. So, basically, they have to be somewhere 1 month and a half, 2 months old. And if you ask me, okay, what if I'm unable to bring my puppy home when they are between 6 and 8 weeks? What is better? Take them too early or take them too late or later? And here it depends. And we're going to discuss it in a second. But before we talk about this, let's talk about the developmental stages of a puppy. So when they're born, they don't see, they are unable to survive on their own. So they need a mother because they drink milk, and the mother takes care of them, helps them to, stay clean, even poop and stuff like that. So that's why it's important for them to be with the mother. If they're taken too early, not only they're unable to take care on their own, but they also haven't learned important habits from their mom. They also may be traumatized by this separation, especially, let's say, if they're being abandoned, and then they're going to eventually have certain issues that will be reflected on their behavior. The reason the 6 to 8 weeks is a good time to take them, because during this time, they finally get in the stage when they are curious about the outside world. They want to meet people. They want to meet other dogs. They want to explore the world. So this is the great time to bring them in your home because they're already in the exploration stage. So they're not attached yet. So their attachment to the person who was taking care of them, let's say breeder or foster, whatever, this attachment haven't built yet because they're too young to build that attachment. But at the same time, they are very curious and they can deal with frustration. So even like a certain changes, like, changing from one home to another, staying with another person will not traumatize them that much because the curiosity wins. If we take them too late, let's say they're several months old, they may have already attached to the person who was taking care of them. And when they move to another home, it will take them a while to get used to it. It doesn't mean they will not get used to a new person, but that's going to be more traumatic for them. Another problem is that whatever habits they already learned before they reach your place, let's say they're 4 or 5 months, and the person who was taking care of them didn't socialize them with dogs. So they might have a fear or aggression towards dogs. Or maybe that person was a person who lived alone, didn't have many friends or visitors, didn't take puppy anywhere. So puppy haven't met many people. So they might have fear and anxiety when you take them to public places. Maybe that person didn't teach puppy to go potty training. So this is something they can still learn. But if, let's say, the person never took them out, the puppy may never learn to, properly go potty outside, and they might pee and poop in your house. And many, many other things. If you miss those first month of their development, where you can actually get puppy used to your lifestyle. Let's say you live in a busy city, like in San Francisco, you want to take your puppy to coffee shops. You want to start doing it as soon as you get the puppy because you want them to be used to people, to crowds, to busy places. I don't know, if you live in a street that has traffic, large trucks or buses, you want your puppy to get used to it. But if you take them when they're 5, 6 months, or even 8 months old, you don't know what was their history before and whether they were socialized to all those things. You can still adapt and train and teach puppy to be calm with other dogs, not to be aggressive, not to be fearful. But if they missed a very important socialization, especially if they were deprived of something, let's say they never met a dog before, they never met another human before, you may not be able to socialize them to the point when you will be bringing them everywhere. So if you want to mold the puppy to your lifestyle, and by mold, I don't mean like breaking them down or neglecting their needs, but just giving your puppy a chance to get used to your particular lifestyle, whether you travel a lot or you work from home and you need your puppy to be able to, stay calm while you're working during work hours. The best is to take your puppy home when they are between 6 and 8 weeks. Of course, there are exceptions to that. And this exception is what is your current situation, your current lifestyle. So remember I said, like, is it better to take puppy too early? Let's say you can't take them when they're 6, 8 weeks. Should you take them earlier, or is it better to wait? The answer is depends. Let's say you have a choice to take a puppy from a shelter, and there are several puppies there. Some puppies are 6 weeks, some puppies are like maybe 10, 12, 15 weeks. And let's say you are a person who are eager to train your dog, you have plenty of time, you don't have any other responsibilities. Let's say you don't have kids, you don't have like too many hobbies. You're just a person who are at home and who are truly wants a dog and you want truly to spend a lot of time, like many, many hours with your dog. In this case, take a puppy earlier. It's better for the puppy to be in your house, even if they're only 4, 5, 6 weeks, than staying in a shelter where they will not get enough interaction with humans and basically they will be deprived. In this case, it's better to take a puppy too early. Let's say it's the opposite. You are the person who are super busy. I mean, technically, if you are a busy person, you shouldn't be taking a puppy. Maybe better take a adult dog from a rescue. But let's say you're taking a puppy and you have a very busy lifestyle, or you're not good with training, or you just know yourself you're not very patient. Maybe in this case, if you find a ethical, very like responsible breeder who keeps their puppies until they're 13, even 16 weeks, but they do the training for you, maybe that's the better solution. So what happens, certain breeders, they not only, help the mother to have a litter, but they would also have like training sessions. They would have puppy parties when they would invite other people so puppies get a chance to interact with people. They would bring kids so puppies get used to children because children are usually loud and very unpredictable for dogs. They will take those puppies to places. They would, teach them potty training. They will teach them basic training skills, basic obedience. In this case, maybe it's better for you if you're a busy person to take that type of a puppy. But you have to understand this is not every breeder gonna do it. So it is a breeder who probably gonna charge a lot, but the breeder has good reputation. The breeder who's gonna actually select you. They're not gonna just give you any puppy. They're gonna interview you. They're gonna decide if you're a good fit. They're gonna actually try to understand whether you are a good person for this puppy. Your lifestyle fits the puppy needs, this particular breed. So this is definitely not the dog you get from Facebook, from Craigslist, or, you just get it from a random online ad. This is not a dog that somebody sells you on the street. This is a dog that comes from a person who has a established, breeding place. And it's not a backyard breeder who just keeps the puppies somewhere in a crate in the backyard. This is the person who lets puppies stay with them in the house. In this case, the puppies will be socialized during training, during socialization sessions, during just interaction. But let's say this is unethical breeder. They keep their puppies in a crate. The puppies don't get to interact. In this case, it's really dangerous for them to keep puppies until too old. Anyway, so this is the idea. 6 to 8 weeks is ideal. If you're taking a rescue puppy from a shelter, take them whatever age they are, but be prepared to socialize, train them, and basically replace a mother and litter mates for them. If you can afford an ethical breeder, do your research. There are some breeders they can keep puppy a little bit longer and do a little bit of training. But you also have to understand the longer the puppy stays not with you but with somebody else, the less likely they're going to be, like a healthy, well-rounded puppy, because whatever stress happened to them during, staying with different people, moving from place to place, this is very critical for a young dog. I would say in this case, it's better to take adult dogs because adult dogs can adjust much better to a new home versus a puppy. It is very important for a young dog until they reach 1 year old, maybe even 1.5 years, not to change too many homes, not to go through too many experiences. For example, this is probably for another video, but sometimes what people do, they get a puppy and then they send puppy to board and train. This is not a good idea. This is the same. The puppy needs to be with you, get used to you, to your lifestyle, build a bond, build an attachment to you. And let's talk a little bit about the behavior issues the dog may experience, something like aggression, separation anxiety, extreme fear, extreme phobias of sounds, of other things that actually stem from their early development. So you need this information to understand why is it crucial to get your puppy in a proper age and why is it important to take care of them when they're still babies, they're developing. So the idea is that if puppy was deprived of something, as I said before, they may never be comfortable with this thing. So, for example, if they never see a dog until they reach like 5 months, they're going to be extremely fearful or aggressive to other dogs. When they just bark, try to run away, you can't even walk a dog like that because they cry on leash. They start like lounging and barking. Or with some breeds, they may not understand that whatever they see out there is actually a dog. They may think it's just a random animal, and the prey drive, hunting instinct may kick in, and they can actually chase and attack and hurt another dog just because they don't understand that's a dog in front of them. This comes from like a very extreme deprivation. Let's say they never met another dog until they were like too old. And you would say like, how is it possible? How is it a dog never met another dog? The reason it happens, let's say I'm not a very ethical breeder. Let's say I'm just breeding puppies for my money. I'm just like a puppy mill. So I keep my puppies and my dogs in the crates in the backyard. They live all their life in a crate, in this real story. That's why we don't want to buy dogs from internet, from unknown sources. And those dogs just live in those crates. So what's going to happen to those dogs? Not only they're not introduced to other dogs, they're also not introduced to humans. And let's say if this dog is a guardian breed, if this dog is not socialized with humans, they might be overly protective of their house, they might be overly protective of you, which will lead to the problem that you will never be able to walk them in the street because they're gonna aggress towards humans. They might even like bite your guests and stuff like this. Another problem is, let's say the person never took them out, they were always in a house, never been in the streets. They might have a fear and extreme anxiety around loud noises, around cars. They may never get used to, car rides. They may never be able to be in a loud street. They would just freak out, panic, and run away, show any other ways of major nervousness and anxiety. So the major issues that we deal with if the puppy didn't go through the right developmental stages are fears, aggression, and anxiety. There are obviously many other things, and sometimes you can help the puppy and you can rehabilitate them, but sometimes, unfortunately, those things will still be with you until your dog is very old. So it's very important to choose a puppy from a right place. It's very important to take them at the right time, and it's very important to socialize and train them early on. If you have any questions about that, you can always hire me for an online consult, or if you're in San Francisco Bay Area, we can meet in person. Otherwise, check the links in the description. If you want to know more about puppies or dogs, there will be playlist link down below, as well as my website that has some articles. See you in my next video. I have to pay you to participate in my videos.